So this is a board. What we got? Some of our tasks. We actually went through the tasks for half of the meeting as well, just to make sure everybody was on board. For my tasks, I wanted to. It's actually very similar to Len's task in a way. I wanted to see if streetlights were more effective than stoplights themselves, which I do believe they actually are, but I believe it is good to incorporate both. And I also wanted to check the cost to implement the streetlights in town. I know we said that we were going to wait until later for the budget reasons, but having that in the back pocket really helps instead of having to spend a whole extra day looking up those sort of details. I actually gave the second task to Jennifer because I was mainly focused on the streetlights and stop signs and where they would actually go on the Lake Como plant itself. I think Lens can just do his tasks. I implemented the Lake Como map as well, just so we can all get like a good idea of where everything is. The red dots on the map are going to be the stoplights, and the yellow ones are going to be where the stop signs are going to be. Me and Lens both worked together, and we established where the up and down streets were. The up streets were Fernwood, Parkway, Newman, and I think that is it. And I believe also B Street, because B Street, while it does go past it, it intersects with it. So we want something there too. And we put the sides of light.
This is good exercise, very, very helpful. And I think that we'll continue to discuss this later on next week. Good work.
Okay.
Lens?
All right. So basically, what I went over, just like Lillian said, our tasks were a bit simpler, and what I went with and what I dived into for our project, I was focusing on how everything would be set up. So, for example, I wanted to focus on the way the traffic would flow, so that way we could determine where exactly we wanted to have stop signs and stop lights. Mm-hmm. Because in a small residential town like this, you want to make sure everything flows slowly from the traffic all the way up to the pedestrians. So another thing that I also wanted to focus on was the utilities of the town. The reason why for this is as you mentioned early on in the project, Mr. Rodriguez, the effects that the environment would have. When you mentioned this, I wanted to also take into mind the way this would affect everything else in the town. For example, since this town is located by a lake, the way the utilities work, such as the drainage systems, I wanted to understand if anything flowed into the lake, because in freshman year you mentioned that one of the main problems with the lake was that there was some pollution in it. So yep. I wanted to focus on where all these drainage, where the way the water drains. Since this is a lake, there's probably a bit of an incline which leads all the water towards that. So in other words, the lake would act almost as a basin. So I wanted to understand how all the drainage worked, so that way we could try and mitigate that. Another thing I wanted to focus on was the continuous.
That's genius. That's genius.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that was primarily what I wanted to focus on in terms of the utilities. The electrical problems, that would also coincide with the traffic lights, because we don't want to have these big bulky traffic lights that we see in the city on a street that, although would usually have people driving relatively quickly, we don't want to have it where the traffic lights are going to be draining so much electricity, which would then in turn raise up the electrical bills, since I know that's going to be present in a town like this. So that's pretty much what my job was focusing on.
Very good. Did you make note of this, or this is just all based off your mind right now? Is this all? Do you have this?
Yeah, this is all noted.
Okay, very good.
In the task bar, that's
Yeah.
where everything is written.
Very good.
Oh wait, was I not presenting the whole time?
No,
No, your screen kind of turned
Oh
off.
my god, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We get it now. All right, and we'll revisit this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to say that was the thought of linking the town, the sewage, the waste, the lake, the traffic. That's inspired right there. That is inspired. That's incredible. So I would definitely like to revisit that with the group on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe when John Gibbons comes as well. But great job. That is some really great thinking right there.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.